Back by popular demand, I'm making one more of these videos using a microphone today. I'm not sure if it helps. Um, so here's on Twitter, we have a little bit of news. وزیر دفاع ایران Wazir, one of the minister of this and that. Difa is defense of Iran. The defense minister of Iran, was quoted to say, Tahrim is an Arabic term for sanctions. Tahrim ha, the sanctions, plural. Bar, up. Bardashte, dashtan is to have. Bardasht is to take off, meaning when or if the sanctions are lifted. Bardashte shavad is lifted. تحریم ها برداشته شود، ورود پررنگ تری در بازار تسلیحات خواهیم داشت. Once the sanctions are lifted, ورود, entrance, presence, entry. Por is full, rang, color. Purrang is deep color as opposed to camrang. Camrang, faded color. Purrangtar, more, deeper, some. Rangtari is some. We're gonna have some stronger presence, more. Uh, we're gonna be more visible. Dar in bazar, market. Taslihat, aslahe. Taslihat is Arabic term for weapons. Aslahe is a weapon. Taslihat is a kind of a weaponry market. Khahim. Now the word khahim is kind of interesting. We shall have, or we will have. Now the word will has two meanings: to want and something to happen in the future. And in a similar fashion in Farsi, khahim is to want something, but it's also a we will have. Dasht. But it's also interesting that Khahim is related to Hua. Probably in the old times it was pronounced Huahim, and it's related to the word gusto, I think. Me gusto, or we want to, because to want something is usually means that you will going to have it, to do something. Very interesting. Historically, all these languages use the same techniques to articulate the same ideas in medieval fashion. Again, وزیر دفاع ایران Cohen تحریم ها. Now this is shortened. It should be اگر یا when تحریم ها برداشته شود are lifted ورود پررنگتری در بازار تسلیحات خواهیم داشت. امیر حاتمی is the guy's name. وزیر دفاع ایران میگوید is saying با برداشته شدن with lifting of sanctions on weaponary sanctions, جمهوری اسلامی, the Islamic Republic, میتواند, will be able to, میتواند, it'll be able to, در بازارهای, in markets, تسلیحاتی, weaponary markets, بازارهای تسلیحاتی, ورود پررنگتری داشته باشد. We'll have more presence. Now we'll read the comments now. اسلحه, a weapon, گرسنه را هم سیر می کند. گرسنه is hungry. سیر is full. Does it feed the hungry? گرسنه را is the direct object. A proposition, like in Farsi, you want to say, I have the book. You say, I book ra have. Or you say, I told them he ra. Instead of saying him, we say he ra. Instead of saying her, we say she ra. It's usually for a direct object, not indirect object. Um, like when you say I have a book, I have the book. Also, there's a definite pronoun kind of embedded into that raw. It's like the something, or in an object sense. You don't say, if you want to say to her, you don't use raw. You say, I saw her, man او را دیدم. Her, and we don't have he or she, so say z in a way. I zero saw. I saw her, him, it. Um, so anyways, تازی بیگانه پرست. تازی is a derogatory term for charging. Taz, tazidan, taftan is charging with a horse, charging with a camel, charging with any animal. And this is a derogatory term they use for the Arabs who conquered Iran because they talk because they were charging in the desert. And he says, you're a Tazi, you're one of those charging Arabs. Not all Arabs, it doesn't mean all Arabs are Tazi, but that type of Arab who conquered Persia. Bigane, foreign, parast, worship. So you, uh, foreigner worshipping Tazi. فقط دنبال جنگ افزارید. از رفاه حال مردم و آسایش مردم خبری نیست. فقط only دنبال actually that now it's a term in French too. Dom Dom is an Arabic term meaning tail. Dombal is following something, after something. Only after you folks are only after Jang war, Afzar. Jang Afzar is weapons of war or things to create war. Eid Hastid is short for Hastid. You are only you guys are only after war creating weapons, war creating materials. از رفاه حال مردم as of رفاه comfort حال condition feelings mood مردم حال مردم people's feelings people mood people's condition مردم و and آسایش comfort calm cool serenity مردم آسایش مردم and whether they feel calm and cool and quiet خبری any news ندارید نیست. There's no news or there's no knowledge of whether people are comfortable or quiet, in quiet or in rest. You don't care about people. فقط دنبال جنگ افزارید. از رفاه حال مردم و آسایش مردم خبری نیست. There's no news, there's no mention of how people are doing. شما بازار خودرو، کالای دیجیتال و you shouldn't be attaching it, but he has. That they're really calling, he's writing in a very colloquial fashion. شما بازار خودرو، کالای دیجیتال و لوازم خانگی و کشاورزی و and other things رها کردیم. شما بازار the market بازار خودرو vehicle you've let go of, you don't care about the vehicle market, digital merchandise کالای دیجیتال and the O is attached should be really separate and کالای دیجیتال digital products لوازم خانگی household products خانه home خانگی household لوازم خانگی things that belong to a house کشاورزی farming you've let go of all that stuff رها کردین you let go of it you forget about it بازاری که the bazaar that you که خیلی موجه میشه that gets the most attention خیلی very موجه میشه becomes under attention بیشتر more بیشتر is a lot بیشتر is more بیشتر از درآمد نفتی ازش پول در آورد. The market that you can make more money out of, more than your even your oil merchandising. رفتید. Oh yeah, so meaning all these other things like producing digital products and household stuff. Instead of creating markets there and trying to make more money out of those instead of oil, رفتید, you have gone سراغ or دنبال, سراغ is after, سراغ تخصصتون, your main specialty, your main specialty, which is تجهیز terrorist ها, to arm, to weaponize the terrorists and آشوب افکنی and creating mayhem, آشوب, mayhem, آشوب افکنی, throwing mayhem. Should be a period there, the sentence is over. از کوزه همان برون تراود که در اوست. That's a saying in Farsi that they say that a clay jar, what oozes out from a clay jar is exactly what is in it. Meaning you're showing your essence. The only thing that comes out of you people is terrorism. حکومت‌های انقلابی، حکومت‌های the governments، حکومت‌های انقلابی revolutionary governments and ideologic and revolutionary governments، حکومت‌های انقلابی و ایدئولوژیک ideological governments فقط only در اکسیژن in the oxygen of mayhem آشوب در اکسیژن آشوب میتونن زیست و تنفس داشته باشن. They can only in the oxygen of mayhem can thrive, زیست and breathe, تنفس داشته باشن. To have, they can only have they can only thrive in the oxygen in the medium of mayhem. تحریم خیلی بهتره برای مردم ایران. چیزی گیر ملت نمیاد. The sanctions are actually a lot better for the people of Iran. تحریم خیلی, much more, much, بهتر, better, بهتره is better, بهتره, again short for بهتر است, برای, for, برای مردم, people of Iran, مردم ایران. تحریم خیلی بهتره برای مردم ایران. Sanctions are a lot better for people of Iran. چیزی گیر ملت نمیاد. Nothing, cheese shows, quelque chose in French. Nothing, cheese shows, cheesy, anything, gire, in the grasp, grappling, grabbing, ملت, the nation نمیاد. Nothing comes into their hands anyway. برای خرید یا فروش, a presence for selling weapons or buying weapons. You probably do both. تجهیزات تولیدی گندش در اومده. All kinds of instrumentation and machinery for production is completely turning to rot in this country. که گندش در اومده. Is stinking. اگر برای فروش هست, if it's for selling, آپشن خطای انسانی رو لطفاً بردارید. If it's for sale, اگر, if, برای, for, فروش, sale, hast, ist, in German ist, hast. If it is for sale, option, the option, خطای انسانی, human error, را, direct object, بردارید, دارید, to have, بردارید, take off, lift off, لطفاً, please. Because if it's for sale, please make sure that the human error is removed from the options of these machinery that you're selling. They're making fun of the fact that they shot down a Ukrainian plane and they said it was a human error. And for days they denied it. They said it's impossible and so forth. And then they made up all kinds of bizarre excuses. This guy says, آره, آلبالو بخوریم که پررنگتر نقش داشته باشیم. Yes, آره, آلبالو, sour cherries, بخوریم, eat some sour cherries so you can have deeper colors. Naqsh is patterns or a role in a movie. So you can have a deeper presence, deeper color in your role. In order to do that, just have some sour cherries. این تروریست های امام حسین کثیف, obviously this person is very much against Islam or against Shiite religion. He said these terrorists of Imam Hussein. It's funny that this sort of comment is not even, it's not even flagged as bad or defamation or anything. The defamatory ones are at the bottom, but this is so common. People saying horrible things about Islamic prophet, the prophet of Islam or saints of the Shiite sect, that it's just so common in these comments. این تروریست های امام حسین کثیف. Imam Hussein was the third. I call them saintlets. No, saintlets are Imam Zadeh. This guy was a real saint, supposedly. Well, if there is such a thing as a saint. But anyway, so the Shiites believe that there were 12 saints following the Prophet Muhammad, and of course that is a complete blasphemy to Muslims. The original Muslims, the Sunnis, they would think of all of this as just made up nonsense, gibberish made by the Persians, but that's okay. So this guy said these terrorists of Imam Hussein, the third saint of the Shiite religion, Imam Hussein Kasif, dirty Imam Hussein, there's something, an elephant's vagina, خواب هستند. They seem to be dreaming in deep sleep or deep dreaming. که میگویند, that makes them say, تحریم برداشته شود, if the sanctions are removed, such a sanction. So there should be a period here. تحریم بهانه است. A sanction is just an excuse. بهانه is an excuse. تا مرحله به جایی کشیده شود, so that things can reach in such a so things can reach such a stage که دوباره کربلا را بر سر شما در نمایش قرار بدن. So they can remake the whole tragedy of Karbala. The Shiites have this tragedy of Karbala, where this Imam Hussein he was basically told to leave and he didn't. He was given false information that, yeah, if you come to this country, they're gonna have you as a king. They'll take you as the grandson of the prophet, so forth. He came with his family and a whole bunch of followers, and in the middle of the desert, they stopped him and said, "No, please go back." He didn't. He insisted that no, he wants to become the king. He wants to push on, and of course they stopped him, and he got trapped in the middle of the desert, and they all died. Supposedly the legend is that him and 72 followers and family and so on died. And he says that this is all an excuse so they can repeat, so that America or God knows what, Israel or whoever, can repeat that disaster, that law on you guys again. Replay that whole disaster on you guys because you deserve it, I guess. امام حسین را در نیزه کشیدن. Okay, some dirty stuff. I'm not gonna translate. And he says, "I'll be sitting here and watching you guys, and you get all impaled and so forth." And this guy's mocking the whole Radio Farda. Tomorrow, this radio station is called Radio Farda, Farda Radio, and it says, "You guys are still stuck in yesterday. تو که هنوز تو you que like French and Spanish que that you guys are still stuck in the past. تو که هنوز still, همون the same, ham on are still the same radio diruz, radio yesterday." And now these are replies that I guess were filtered out. آری بازار ترور و ارعاب و وحشت افکنی شما بیشتر خواهد شد. Somebody says, "Oh yes, your market for terrorism and ارعاب, the intimidation and vahshat and fear, vahshat afghani, terrorism, creating terror, creating fear, for you will be more. It'll go up for you guys." آره جای تجار بزرگ و فروشندگان مرگ به سراسر دنیا رو تنگ نمی‌کنیم. He says, yes, but yeah, we don't corner the market for تجار بزرگ, the great merchants and resellers of death all across the planet. This guy's talking with a karaoke, an opium addict accent. So anytime they want to make fun of opium addicts, all the S sounds turn into sh sounds. So instead of saying Sarah, you say Shara. So here it says, Team Shar, دودتو بگیر نفشتو حبش کن حروم نشه. Instead of saying Team Sar, دودتو بگیر نفستو حبس کن حروم نشه. It says Team Sar, oh General, please take that smoke in. Do that, your smoke. Biggie, take that smoke, put it in, inhale it deep. نفستو حبس کن. Keep, nafas is breath. نفستو, nafasat. So now these guys are writing in very colloquial. It should be nafasat ra, but nafaseto. Habs kon, habs imprison. Habs kardan to imprison, but to imprison your breath is to keep your breath in. Keep your breath in. Take that smoke, your opium smoke, keep it in, and don't waste it. Keep it all in, meaning don't even talk. Go back to smoking opium. Yeah, and this is another dirty comment. I just wanted to say that may great Saint Ali alayhi salam, may praise be upon him, may his part of his body be in your mouth, of all of you guys, as rahbar to abtar, from your top leadership to the bottom, because you guys know nothing but war and spilling blood and weapons که فقط دنبال جنگ و خونریزی و اسلحه هستیم. Only after war, jang, khun, blood, khunrizi, spilling blood, va, and aslahe, weapon, hast, ist, hastid, you are. Because ke, only after war and spilling blood and weapon you are. لطفاً کمتر مزخرف بگو. Please, less. Kam means less, few. Kamtar, even less. مزخرف, gibberish, garbage. بگو, say less, garbage. Oh, Mr. General. And so that's the response. There's no other type of response. I try to refresh this page to see any more stuff coming up. Anyway, so that was a bit for today, and I'm gonna finish this thing with a song that I've converted to Freygish. Hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, so if you like the content, this sort of content, let me know. If enough people are interested, I can go ahead and make more of these videos, I guess. And I think I should like share some kind of, not a Patreon, but if people could donate to Wikipedia, maybe. I donate to Wikipedia myself, but if other people could do that, maybe that could be a little reward for me to feel like I'm helping the Wikipedia. Or the Guardian magazine. If you are not a subscriber, you can make donations to them. That would be nice, and send me the proof, and hopefully, I'll make more videos for you guys. Take care. Bye bye.